So today I want to talk about rational aging. Hello doggy. There are two words there. I'll explain what they both mean, they probably know anyway. Rational means value preserving. A behavior or action is rational if it preserves some value. So if you really value nothing more than model railways, that's a hard one for me to say, model railways, then it's totally rational for you to spend all of your money and time on model railways. That's what a rational person would do in that situation. And aging is this act of getting older, and on a biological level it is things like cells not repairing as well, and mitochondria not bending as well, and reactions not being catalyzed as well, and all these kind of things. It's a fundamental principle with the second law of thermodynamics. I think that's the one. It's a fundamental principle of the universe that things tend towards decay. On the mental side, the same kind of thing happens. I'm not just talking about our brains and kind of neurologically, but also we've done more, so because we're older, so our kind of expectation thresholds are higher, or satisfaction thresholds are higher. At the extreme, that becomes being jaded, and that's a kind of key part of mental aging, I think, is trying not to become jaded even as you stare into the abyss. So I think in terms of rational aging, if you are 40 or above and you are not thinking about your aging and how to maximize its kind of experience for you, if you're 40 plus and not doing that, I think you're being irrational, assuming that you value health and experience and being well, which everyone values being well. So it's irrational to not value that in your choices and your thoughts about your life and your aging. So in a nutshell, I think the essence of rational aging is to accept it, to see it as a privilege, which it absolutely is. That's a kind of fundamental axiom of rational aging, I guess, is that aging is a privilege not afforded to the vast majority of humans who've ever been born. So gratitude and privilege are things that old people who are happy, I think, all have. I know many happy old people, and I think they kind of get that. On the physical level, I think this is where most people who are aging are messing up, is they are getting things the wrong way around in terms of the do's and don'ts. They are essentially continuing to poison themselves. I mean, we all are, I am too, but we're essentially continuing to poison ourselves in ways that our bodies can't deal with as much as when we were 20. And so that has a big payload. And the dog, he's aging quite well. And we have this rapid, and it does seem once you get into your 30s, 40s, 50s, rapid decrease in our ability to repair and make structure and rejuvenate cells and all of this kind of stuff. And importantly, to process nutrients. So the things if you imagine the amount of some nutrient you need when you're 20, you need more of it when you're 50, because you're not dealing with it as well. Your body just can't handle it as efficiently. Again, that makes sense. So I think it's irrational not to supplement. I think it's irrational not to do some kind of physical. I really don't like exercise, but I saw probably 10 years ago, maybe a bit more than that if I didn't do it, I was going to end up being much worse off than if I did. But there's a bit of a paradox there. I really don't like exercise. I know people who crave it. They get that kind of dopamine thing from it, which I just don't. And so I kind of exercise, snack and functional run, as in I I don't go to the gym. They're terrifying, terrible places to me. I really find them tedious as well. But I do exercise every day, as little as possible. And I'm not exercising to get stronger. I'm exercising to not get weaker. And to not get less, and to stay supple. That's the really important thing I think about this, is that if you're one of those people like me who hasn't, when they were 20 they weren't gym bunnies kind of thing, or anything remotely like that. If you're one of those people, then you need to get out of that mindset that you're still one of those people if you're 40, because otherwise the rest of your life isn't going to be as good as if you did whatever exercise you can. So I think, a resistance band is an amazing thing. I think you could be 80 and start using a weak resistance band and get benefit from it. And again, it's verging on the irrational not to, I think. I'm probably coming over as dogmatic on this, and I do feel quite dogmatic about it actually. I think it is one of the most, we can't change much in our lives, and one thing we can change is our physical and mental states to some degree. And it's irrational, it's ungrateful not to not try and tweak and improve our experience. I guess the contrary to this is, I'm very much a believer in the ancient Taoist idea of Wu Wei, of non-action, of that's one way it can be read. And so you could say, maybe just sit back, don't exercise, and let life flow by into a decrepitude that would have come sooner had you maybe exercised or done whatever, or taken your magnesium. I don't know. I don't really have much of a tension personally between those two things. One is not really rational, and the other is rational, and it's between the two my life tries to flow, I guess. So that's it. I think if anyone can get anything from this video, it is to if you're not already awake to the fact, wake up to the fact that you can make meaningful changes right now by making small changes in your life. Not expensive in time or money, but very rewarding in terms of reward, I think. These are no-brainers I'm saying. I'm not passing off any deep mystery here, but I hope I am passing off the idea that now is the time and all of that stuff. Alrighty, over and out.